Hello everyone, welcome to our Sengoku Dynasty Survival Guide. We are going over some brand new base locations today. Well, I guess base locations in general, because I don't think I've done this for this game yet. But with the new update, I think a lot of people are kind of coming on board for the first time or starting new save files. So if you're kind of like looking for a new base location, I've got a few ideas that kind of like lean towards certain play styles. So you might find one that's a little bit more in gear with kind of how you want to play your next file. So obviously, to begin with, we're right here in Sasogi, which is kind of like a burnt down village. You come here at the very beginning of the game, and I mean, for me, this is like the best base location for beginners. So if you haven't played the game yet, maybe this is like not a bad thing, because you have all these burnt down buildings that you can break down for some beginning resources, and you can get a good amount of resources out of these. So that kind of like helps kickstart you a little bit. A lot of the initial quests also begin here in this region, so that kind of helps with, you know, just being close to those. And it's like not bad in terms of like resources. You have your forests nearby, you've got plenty of stone, there's a mine that's like not too far from this location. So it's kind of like it has like a little bit of everything, which I think is just, you know, it makes learning the game a little bit easier for those who haven't quite played around with it. So, and it's a pretty big area too. So if you're a beginner, or if you just kind of want maybe like a place that will kind of give you a bit of a head start, Sasogi is not bad. And just to show you on the map, it is, like I said, right at the beginning. Like I think you like spawn somewhere here at this beach, and you just kind of go down right here. And Sasogi is here waiting for you. So that's base location number 1. Let's head to number 2. Here we are at base location number 2. And what I think this location is best for is for the farmers out there, because it's a pretty large lot. You have this whole area right here that you can use. It's already, you know, open for you. You don't have to chop down trees. You can just put down as many fields as you want, you know, as big as you want. Obviously, if you have like the right resources, or the amount of resources that you need. And you can really build quite a big farm here. And obviously, since you can have multiple villages in Sengoku Dynasty, you might decide that, you know, this is like really just an area where you really just want, you know, your farmers to be. And I really like this location for that, just because it is already open, ready to go. But there is a forest nearby, so if you do need some like additional resources, you know, you have them right there, which is always ideal. It's pretty safe here too. There are bears, obviously, like up in the mountains, so, you know, I guess be aware of that. And you know, it's pretty good for that. So, and this location is right here on the map. There's Sasogi is kind of like a focal point, I guess, a landmark. And the another kind of area is like it's basically right behind the hunter that you have to talk to for one of the quests. We'll kind of see if we can get over here to see him. Yeah, there we go. So you just kind of find the hunter and then go right behind, and you'll find this location. It is close to clay too, so if you need clay, there you go. That's pretty also ideal, I'd say. So this is location number 2, which I think is really just best for kind of like a farming village. So let's go ahead and make our way to base location number 3. We are approaching base location number 3, which is really this whole area. And I think this area is best for people who want to plan large villages. And what I mean by that is like villages that are close together, because you know, each village has a specific radius around the bell tower in which you can build. So obviously, you know, you can't build like freely, if that makes sense. You have to build within the radius. So if you want to have a really large village, you need a location where you can kind of put like 2 or 3 villages kind of close together. And I think this location is great for that. You have this whole open space, even beyond the bamboo trees over there. You can very easily put some villages as well. And it's all pretty relatively flat. Like obviously there's a slope here, but nothing too terrible, I would say, if you plan accordingly. And you have tons of grass here too, which is kind of I find very pretty myself. So I kind of think this is great for those who want to have a large village. And if we're looking at the map again, there is Sasogi right there. Our location is right here, and it's really just this whole area right here that you could use for for several large bases. So if you know that you're going to have, if you're definitely somebody who's going to have more than one village, and you want them, you know, close together so you don't have to run or fast travel from one to the next, this might be a decent place for you. And it's also pretty safe here as well. Like, there might be some boars or wolves, you know, within the woods further beyond. But here, like right here where all this grass is, it's pretty gosh darn safe. So love that. But let's go ahead and head to our next base location. Here we are at base number 4. And what I think this is great for is for our miners out there, those who are going to do a lot of mining. They want to make like their blacksmithing, perhaps, kind of like their primary production. And what I love about this area is that obviously you kind of have like this little dip in this little valley, but it's still pretty flat and also big. So you could put quite a few buildings here if you wish. And then there is a cave right over here, which allows you to, you know, get iron and stuff, and it's pretty sizable. I like how these foxes just keep coming out of here. Are you guys like, there's just like a, I just wasn't sure when that was going to end. But obviously you can kind of like take a little peek in here. There's plenty of ore, and it goes, you know, further back as well. So if you know that you're going to make mining kind of like the central point of your village, you might want to come to this location. So let's find this on the map. It's not far from the large village location. You just kind of have to go a little bit more to the right side. You'll kind of look for these like cliffs, and you'll find the cave and the valley right next to it. And again, in comparison or from distance to Sasogi, you're looking at right here. And I will say too, like another kind of nice thing about this is that it is kind of like a central location, and a lot of these other villages are kind of like, you know, like there's one like up here and down there, so like traveling between them, if you want to go by foot anyway, is not bad. Obviously when you have money you can start fast traveling, but initially on foot your journey is not going to be too terrible, just because you are kind of in a more central location. So that is this village location, base location. I think it's pretty gosh darn nice for those who love to do a little bit of mining. So on to the next. Welcome to our 5th base location, and what I like about this one is I think this location is great for those who want to focus on a lot like on trading and stuff, because for one, you happen to be next door neighbors to Iwasaki. Like if we just go over here, we can see Iwasaki, kind of see it through the bamboo trees over there, right next door. So you have somebody you can trade with right there. You don't have to spend money to fast travel or anything. You just go there and just get all profit. And obviously, because you are close to Iwasaki, you can also use their mine to get resources and sell that right back to them. So, you know, go for that. Obviously, you also are very close to resources, bamboo included. There are some bears nearby too. So obviously, honestly, this would also work well for hunters, I would say too. Or if you know you want to make hunting your trade production. There's some bears that kind of like live up in those mountains right over yonder there, so you know you can do a little bit of hunting, and it's kind of like a picturesque area. You got some pretty purple flowers. You kind of tucked away, you can see the pink flowers or the pink trees there, and you know it's pretty wide, it's pretty flat, and it's pretty big, so not bad. So if you want to get here, here's Iwasaki. You literally just got to go across a little river right to the right of it, and you will find this location right here. So that is for our traders out there. And our last one is going to be all about people who are looking for perhaps more aesthetics than anything. So let's go ahead and head there. We have finally made it to our last base location, those who like perhaps aesthetics to play around with. And that's because there is this lovely little waterfall, this pool of water in this area, and you have, you know, your wooded forest as well. I feel like a lot could be done here for people who are creative and all that. You have like a very interesting kind of like valley with a steep, you know, cliffs there. So I feel like you could have some fun here. Now I will say there are some bears that live close by, so I guess if you're a hunter too, not bad this location either. There's plenty of deer and all that around as well, so plenty to do here, I would say, for sure. And obviously plenty of resources too. You've got your trees, you got, you know, stone everywhere. I'm sure there's probably a mine here somewhere. And for its location, you're gonna need to come right over here, right on the edge of this kind of like circular rock looking thing. I think it's close to Seiji. I think Seiji's like up here somewhere, and then I know Aratani. I think Aratani actually might be north of you as well. And then in terms of like where this is to Sasogi, you got quite a bit of a distance. You're gonna have to go all the way, basically the southernmost point of the map, to get to this area. But you know, if you want to build by a waterfall, because I tend to find waterfalls very lovely, you got to come right over here. So hopefully you found that helpful. Let me know if you have a favorite base location, and if it's not one of these, let me know what you guys are setting up, because I'm always curious to know other locations. But thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.